Hello, my name is Allison Zaragoza, and I am a piano and voice teacher here at Crescendo Music Studios. Today, I wanted to give students some tips for recitals to help your performance experience be as smooth as possible. I will be giving you some general tips for all performers, and then, with the help of some of the other Crescendo teachers, we will go over specific tips and expectations for each instrument. When you arrive at the recital venue, please head to the desk to check in. You can give the greeters your name and confirm your song details with them, and then you can grab a program and head into the sanctuary to find a seat with your family. Please try to arrive 10 to 15 minutes before the recital start time so that you can have lots of time to settle in. We also ask that you stay for the entire performance so that everyone can perform for a large, enthusiastic audience. On top of this, make sure to dress your best for your performance. Not only will this help you look put together and prepared, but it'll help you feel more confident too. This is what the stage at Trinity looks like. The pianist will perform at the grand piano here, the drummers will sit at the drums behind this plastic screen, and the singers, guitarists, bassists, ukulele players, and violinists will set up somewhere in the center. This is the seating area at Trinity. You can see the stage on the left, the sound booth on the right, and our teacher area is the front two pews right above my head on the left here. You will be called from your seat with your family to the teacher area about 2 to 3 performers ahead of you. This will give you a chance to sit with your teacher for a few minutes and go over any last minute details before you head on stage. Make sure that you follow along in the program so you can see roughly when your name will be called. When it's time for your performance, our MC will call you up on stage. No matter what your instrument is, it's important that you introduce yourself. Your introduction should include your name, the name of the piece, and the name of the composer. Feel free to add any other details that you think the audience might like to know, like why you chose this song or what it's about. Remember to take your time to get set up. You'll want to be as comfortable as possible when you perform, and the audience will wait for you. If you need extra time to set up your instrument, our MC will do some recital trivia, which is where audience members can answer trivia questions and name tunes for Crescendo Cash, which can be exchanged for prizes at the end of the recital. When you're finished performing, don't forget to take a bow. This is a performer's way to thank the audience for listening. The first tip that I have for all performers is that if you're choosing to perform with a track, make sure that you're practicing with the same track at home that you're going to be using at recital. This way you know exactly what to expect when you go on stage. Number two, consider videotaping yourself performing your song. Sometimes we don't know what we look like performing until we watch it back, so doing this will help you see what the audience is going to see. Also, make sure that you know the story or the meaning of your song or what it means to you so that you can put on as informed a performance as possible. And then try doing a full dress rehearsal before your performance. So put on the outfit that you're planning on wearing to recital because sometimes certain clothes or shoes can make playing feel a bit different than what you're used to. So it's important to know what it feels like before you're on stage. When you're performing a piano piece at recital, the main thing that you'll want to do is make sure that everything is adjusted to fit you. So after you introduce yourself, take time to adjust the piano bench by moving it forward or back so that you can sit properly and comfortably. You never know who is playing before you, so moving the bench will make sure that it's suited to you. Remember that the audience can wait. The most important thing is that you have proper and comfortable posture. If your piece is memorized, you can also put down the music rack on the grand piano. Once everything is adjusted, sit down on the bench and take a second to really establish your tempo. When we're nervous, we tend to rush things and play things a little bit faster, so it will help if you sing the first line of your piece in your head before you start. Once you've established your tempo, you can count yourself in your head and then play. As a singer, you will stand in the center of the stage with a mic. Decide in advance if you want to hold the microphone or use a stand, and ask a teacher for help adjusting the stand if you need it. If you've decided to hold the microphone, make sure to hold it at a 45-degree angle like this so it can pick up as much of your voice as possible. So not straight on like this and not up and down. Avoid holding the grill of the microphone, which is this part, as this can affect the sound. And just be sure not to let the mic fall to your side or point towards the amps because this can cause feedback. If you've decided to use the stand or if you're self-accompanying, make sure you don't start singing until everything is adjusted comfortably to your height. If your song suits it, try to make use of the full stage and connect with the audience. You have plenty of space to move around, especially if you've decided to hold the microphone, so take advantage of that. If your song is not completely memorized and you'd like to bring up your lyrics, that's totally okay, but make sure you take some time to practice your performance to ensure that you still look up and connect with the audience. Because often what happens is we bring our lyrics on stage and then we end up staring at them the entire time and relying on them, even if your song is mostly memorized, instead of connecting with the song and with the audience. So try to practice that way and make sure you're finding a balance between both of those things. And with that, you're ready to have a great performance.
Hello, my name is Dale Osbaldeston. I am one of the guitar teachers at Crescendo Music Studios, and I'm here with you today to share some tips and some pointers for getting ready for your guitar recital. This can also apply to any of the stringed instruments, so bass guitar, banjo, ukulele, whatever it is that you're playing. Make sure you bring your guitar in a case to keep it protected while you transport it. If you're using an acoustic guitar and you plan on using a pickup, bring another 9-volt battery. This is a good thing to have to ensure that you have a backup in case your current battery dies. Make sure you also bring some picks with you, a tuner, and a strap if you plan on standing up and performing. You also want to make sure you bring your sheet music if you're using that, and make sure it's in an organized and neat fashion so that you can access it and read it easily. When you get to the recital hall and you've signed in, take your guitar out of the case and let it climatize. This is because the church is a slightly different temperature and humidity than your home or your car, and your guitar is going to move around a little bit. This will ensure that it's easier to tune and that your guitar stays in tune better. Once your guitar is climatized, you can tune it, and when you're called over to the teacher area to prepare for your performance, you can tune it one more time. There will be teachers around to help you tune, but it's something you want to double and triple check all the time. Nothing ruins a fantastic guitar performance like being a little bit out of tune. So really, really make sure that you're thinking about this. When you're called up to perform, take everything you need with you, including your guitar, the strap, the picks, your sheet music, whatever you need, and take the time to set up on stage. Making sure you're comfortable, making sure you can see your music and read it properly, that the pages are in order. If you are standing up and performing, make sure that your strap is adjusted to a comfortable level, or if you're sitting down and performing, make sure you're in a comfortable position to ensure that you have a fantastic performance. It is a little bit more engaging to the audience if you stand up and perform, but it's something you have to think about. If you're playing a Metallica song on the electric guitar, it's probably more appropriate to stand up. If you're playing a beautiful ballad on the acoustic guitar, it might be more appropriate to sit down. So you want to think about the delivery of your performance as well, but make sure you practice this. If you've only been sitting down and playing, do not try standing at the recital for the first time. This needs to be something you've thought about and practiced ahead of time. After your performance and everyone's cheering and you feel like a complete rock star, make sure you check with the sound person that it's okay to unplug your instrument. If you're using an electric guitar or a pickup, you'll be plugged into an amplifier, and you always want to make sure the amplifier is powered down before you unplug your instrument. When you leave the stage, make sure you bow and take all your sheet music, your instrument, anything that you brought with you off the stage. That's basically about it. I hope this kind of helped you prepare and learn a little bit about what it's like to do a guitar recital, and I wish you the best performance.
Hello, here are some violin specific tips for crescendo recitals. So first off, it's really important for violin that you show up at least 15 minutes early to ensure that we can get your violin tuned up because especially in the winter months, um, the instruments tend to fall out of tune a lot easier. So it's really important to leave enough time so we can make sure your violin is tuned and ready to go. On that note, it's also very important to bring your instrument, obviously, and as well as your bow and rosin. Um, if you are playing with your music, make sure to bring that. And it's also a good idea to bring it even if you have it memorized, just in case if last minute you get nervous and you want to bring up the music, it's a good idea to have it. And yeah, if you're playing out of a book, it's a good idea to also bookmark the page that you're on so you don't have to worry about flipping through all the pages to find your music. And then also make sure you're kind of watching the program to see when your name is coming up, so that when you're called over to the teacher area, you already have your instrument set up. This is just so that we can really focus on making sure your instrument's in tune and that you're all ready for your performance, and we don't have to worry about setting up the instrument and all that because that can be a little disruptive in the teacher area. I understand that if you're at the later in the program, you don't always want to have your instrument out, and it's okay to keep it in the case, but make sure when your performance is coming up that you can find a way to set it up before you're called over to the teacher area. Yeah, and with all that in mind, you should be prepared to have a wonderful performance.
Hello, my name is Dale Osbaldeston, and I am one of the drum teachers at Crescendo Music Studios. I am here with you today to share some tips and some pointers in getting ready for your drum recital. First things, make sure you bring a set of earplugs. The acoustic drums we use at the recital are very, very loud, and your track, if you're using a track coming off the speakers, is also going to be very loud. You want to have earplugs to ensure you protect your hearing and that also you can play comfortably up on stage and that things aren't too loud for you. I use earplugs all the time when I play. You'll of course want to bring a pair of sticks with you so that you can actually play the drums. And if you have an additional pair of sticks, bring that as well onto the stage with you as you perform. I like to take my extra set of sticks and put them on top of the bass drum or in a bag by the floor tom or even on the floor next to me. And this is in case I accidentally drop a stick in mid-song, I can reach down and grab another stick and continue the performance. So this is a good kind of safety mechanism to have. Also, make sure you bring any sheet music if you're using sheet music and bring it in a good state. You don't want the pages to be crumpled or bent because then it makes it difficult to read or it possibly could fall off the music stand. So make sure your music is taken care of. And if you need to tape it together or put it in a binder so that you can read it and it can stay on the stand, then take the time to do that. When you get up on the kit for recitals, take the time to set up and get comfortable. The drums are a completely different instrument than what you're used to practicing at home, and it's important that you take the time to get them set up, get yourself comfortable. If you need help adjusting any of the stands or the height of the chair, a teacher can absolutely help you do that. This is important so that you feel comfortable and you have a good performance. When you're done playing and the audience is cheering and you feel like a complete rock star, make sure you take your sticks and your sheet music and anything you brought up on stage with you, and you can exit the stage and take a bow at the end of your performance. Hopefully that helps get you ready with some things you want to be thinking about going into this. And I hope you have a fantastic performance.
Hello, digital production students. If you don't already know me, my name is Janak Naidu, and I have the privilege of being the digital production teacher here at Crescendo Music Studios. And today I just wanted to run through what recital will look like for you. Because of how your instrument works and how you're learning how to make music, it's a little bit different than somebody who, let's say, plays piano or sings. For digital production students, the main thing I want y'all to know is that it's short and sweet. There's two parts to your performance. The first is you're going to introduce the piece, and you're also going to give a short synopsis, a short explanation about how you made the thing, about what went into it, and everything you've learned along the way. So there's a bit of a public speaking thing going on here, and then we'll play your piece. And I know when you go up to introduce yourself, you can go introduce yourself, and then you can go stand to the side by the piano or something like that as the piece plays. I can understand that it might be a little wild if you're just standing in front there, and it's not that's not exactly the most comfortable. So you can just stand off to the side, introduce your piece, talk about it, what went into it, and all those things, and then let the piece play. People are gonna really enjoy it too because you know what, like this is your hard work, and this is you showing your hard work in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's basically what you can expect from a performance with digital production. It's more of just a showcase than anything else, and I think that that's what's really important to recognize. Okay, so yeah, digital production students, that's sort of how recital will work for you. If you guys have any questions, the beginning of the video is going to have a general idea of what recital will look like, so that could be helpful as well. All right, thank you so much, guys. All right, bye now.